What is up, everybody? How are you doing today? Happy Tuesday, October 13th. Week 5 is almost in the books, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here to break that down for you. Welcome to the Fantasy Tap. My name is Michael, and this is John.
What's going on, everybody? Hopefully everyone's excited to watch the possible Tennessee Titans versus the Buffalo Bills tonight.
At the time of this recording, it's still on.
It's still going. We'll find out tomorrow morning by now what's going on. We're probably one test away from just pushing it off. But we're here. We're excited. And
we're ready.
It was a crazy week.
Oh, my goodness, was it ever.
See Chase Claypool?
Bald, man. 4 touchdowns.
It's a rookie record for the Steelers.
Yeah. And then did you see Dak Prescott?
That was really sad to see.
I hate that. I hate it. It's the worst.
We'll talk about it.
Yes, we will. But welcome in, everybody. Today's beer of the day is Der Chancellor.
The Chancellor.
The Chancellor. Good. That was a good German accent. I think. It may not have been. Never been to Germany.
Slightly Austrian. I'm just kidding.
So, it is a German-style Kolsch ale. Not bad. It's out of Tequesta Brewing Co. in lovely Florida. So, that's what we're drinking on today.
I haven't even cracked mine open yet. Foamy.
Ooh, it is quite foamy. Not bad beer. But we have a jam-packed show for you today. We have got news. We're going to break down some Week 5 standouts. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about waiver targets. Now, obviously, we're doing this in the middle of the Saints game and before the Bills game. So there might be a couple in those games that we aren't going to talk about so far.
So far, no one's standing out to us.
Maybe Jalen Guyton, just because he's seen some deep targets, but that's really just possibly in a deep league. But
we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we've still got another half to go. I mean, if he gets another 4 or 5 targets, we'll talk.
Yeah. So I think he's got 3 right now.
He's got 3. One of them was for 49 yards, and that was 0 yards after catch. He caught that and went down. So that was a 49-yard pass.
He was like, 2 yards away from the end zone.
Yeah, he almost made
got in it. Almost got there. But let's jump into the news, ladies and gentlemen. Some big news. Big news. Not surprising, though. Dan Quinn got fired. So did Thomas Dimitroff, the GM there for the Atlanta Falcons. How do you think that affects the team? I mean, they were such a pass-heavy team.
I think they're going to continue with that offense due to just how they've been going. They're not going to have enough time to re-scheme their entire offense under a new coach. They're mid-season. The interim coach is more than likely going to continue the same idea, but on its own terms. I don't see them being getting too creative. I see them just playing the season out at this point. They went with their defensive coordinator.
Yeah, they.
Did you know that? I didn't know the Falcons were so well known that their defense was just such a strong point.
They are very well known for us fantasy players. Play anybody you got. Play them against the Falcons because they're trash.
No, it is really surprising to me though that Dan Quinn's now the second coach to be fired in the NFL this year.
Adam Gase is going to be the third here in a minute.
Adam Gase still has a job.
It's crazy.
Who let this guy have? How does this happen?
You know what's even crazier is that the Texans, supposedly there were rumors that if Adam Gase got fired, they would interview him for their head coaching job. How many coaching jobs?
The owners just need to sell the team at this point.
How many coaching jobs can one guy be considered for after ruining
5 teams
or not helping 2 horrific teams just because Peyton Manning played with him?
Oh yeah, he helped Peyton Manning once.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He turned him into a Hall of Famer after he was already a Hall of Famer.
I'm gonna go puke.
It's rough, man. Dalvin Cook, he did injure his groin. He did have an MRI today. It went well, according to the head coach there for the Vikings, Mike Zimmer, and they are going to see how he practices this week before they make any decisions on Week 6 play. So, pick up Alexander Madison.
Yeah, he did come in at the end of the game and looked great, actually.
Over 100 yards.
It's 2 games in a row. He's actually been pretty productive.
Yeah, I started him last week. I didn't start him this week, though. That was crappy.
Bet you'll start him next week.
As long as Dalvin Cook's out.
I think even in limited, you still might want to play him.
Depends. I have Raheem Mostert in that league though too, so he's back.
Okay.
Yeah. Dak Prescott, of course. Sad news there in Dallas. He broke and dislocated his ankle. Was a gruesome injury. Did you see it?
I did. It just looked like a cramp.
Isn't that what Tony Romo said?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's not
the
good.
joke.
That was a joke. Yes.
No. It was disgusting. I know. I'm the type of person where anytime a body part's just not pointing in the right direction,
it's a problem.
It's just get off the field. We need to go look at that. It's not something where you're like, oh wow, I bet that kind of hurt. No, it's just I don't want to look at it.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Prayers for him, man.
He's been doing really good this season.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton did come in and look
good.
Let him do a win.
Yeah, they did. That deep pass on the last drive to Michael Gallup. You see that catch?
I did. So that helps me believe that they're still going to have that, again, kind of like going back to the Falcons, they're still going to have that same offense where they're going to be allowing the Red Rifle to air the ball out.
I think he's going to be a good quarterback. And we'll be talking about him later. Sammy Watkins, expected to miss a couple weeks with a hamstring injury.
Fire up that Mecole.
Yeah. X-rays on Baker Mayfield's ribs. They came back negative. Whoa.
Oh, Justin.
He's been balling, though, this game. He's been balling. DJ Chark left the game with an ankle injury there for the Jags, unfortunately. Wasn't doing much before that anyway. But keep an eye on that. We were looking for updates, and there's not really anything out right now. We'll probably hear something today, Tuesday. So keep an eye out for that. See how he does. Deontay Johnson left the game with a back injury for the Steelers.
Left the game rather early too, which really allowed, Chase Claypool to get a lot of opportunity. Deontay only got in for 2 plays.
Yep. And then AJ Green, trade me. Rumors, supposedly he was caught saying trade me in a video. Who knows? I'm not a lip reader. Whoa. Or a talker. And, he's not doing much anyway. I don't see a team giving up much, if anything, for him.
I don't know. There's a lot of receiver-needy teams in this league right now. No, you're not getting AJ Green of old.
You're getting old AJ Green, though.
You're getting old AJ Green, but you see receivers getting traded around team to team, especially right before the trading deadline for, 4th-round picks, 5th-round picks. Didn't he just get re-signed to a contract, though?
No, he's on, I believe he's on the franchise tag. Yeah.
Because I thought, wasn't he the one that was talking about getting traded before? Oh, no, that was Allen Robinson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I get that mixed up sometimes. At least one of them's doing good.
Yeah. Allen Robinson's balling.
Leading the league in targets.
Yes, sir. AJ Green's had a ton of targets, though.
Exactly why they're 2 different people.
Doesn't do anything. But that's all we got for the news. Let's jump into our Week 5 standouts. Of course, we got to start with Chase Claypool.
Absolutely. Those 4 touchdowns were absolutely amazing.
Beautiful. Do you think that's going to be a reoccurring theme moving forward? Or, what do you think?
I'd bet heavier money on he never has a game like that the rest of his career.
Wow, career.
You think he's going to have another 4-touchdown game in his career?
It's early career, and he looks like a stud. So
the last time a Steelers player has done that was 1962.
Oh, back in the day.
Yeah. So like I said, probably one of the best games of his career. And now I think right now he's going to be kind of boom or bust. What that does tell me though is that you cannot trust Juju like you thought you could. They just seem to have too many weapons there, and it just gets spread around way too much. It's like the Dallas offense, but not as potent. Someone's going to be balling out that week, but who? So it kind of just makes me more afraid to play any of the other Steelers receivers than comfortable playing Claypool. Claypool definitely jumps into that flex conversation for me week in, week out now. But I'm not jumping too high into that.
Yeah, I'm not either. One game, I think he's going to be a talented receiver, but I don't think that he's going to be a fantasy asset week in and week out. He will put those games up, and like you said, it's going to be hard to predict when those happen. But another guy who's kind of came out of nowhere. The Lions drafted him in the 6th round a couple years ago. Travis Fulgham with a G.
I mean, yeah, he came in last week playing against San Francisco, was able to find the end zone on only 3 targets, catching 2 of them for 57 yards.
And then 13 targets came his way.
I was going to say, then he came into this week, and he got lit up.
Yeah, peppered.
13, caught 10 of them, 152 yards.
And a touchdown.
And another touchdown. I think with this depleted receiver core out here in Philadelphia, he's someone you're going to want to pick up. And, again, just put in that flex conversation week in, week out. I mean, until he shows you consistent weeks where he can't do anything. He does have a hard matchup next week going against Baltimore.
Ooh.
But the rest of the year, he's kind of got a pretty decent lineup. I mean, you got the Giants twice, Dallas, Cleveland, Seattle, Green Bay, and then New Orleans to round out the season before you hit Arizona and Dallas, which you might not even be in fantasy by then.
Yeah, weeks 15, 16. That's the playoffs.
You got Arizona and Dallas right there in the playoff time.
Yeah, beautiful matchups there. But Chase Claypool or Travis Fulgham going forward?
I would definitely grab Chase Claypool, honestly.
Really? See, I would go the other way. I would go Fulgham only because of the receivers there. Like you said, there's nobody. There's Greg Ward. There's Zach Ertz, who did nothing. I don't feel comfortable with either of them, but I would grab Fulgham and trust him a little bit more just due to the lack of targets.
Still got Deshaun Jackson hurt. They're going to be coming back.
And then probably going back.
I'm saying I would trust Chase Claypool because he does have these big games, and he's a young guy that's – I think you're going to be seeing more big games from him. Fulgham, I think, is going to be okay. I don't think you're going to have any more 150-yard games from him.
Oh, no, I don't either.
Especially once Goddard comes back or anyone else comes back healthy. You got that from Claypool with only Deontay leaving the game, which he's done 3 times now this season.
Yeah, and well, I like I said, I feel more comfortable with the situation there. Obviously, dynasty wise, like if you're in a dynasty league, I'm gonna take Claypool all day. But Fulgham, I think this year is going to provide, a couple more weeks that will be, flex worthy, and just due to the lack of receivers there. I mean, they do, like you said, they do have a tough matchup this coming week, so I'm not playing them this week whatsoever. But down the road, I think there'll be more serviceable games there for him than Claypool, just due to the lack of targets in that offense. But both had a great week this week. Chase Edmonds, I'm sorry, that was the next segment. Mike Davis doing Christian McCaffrey things in that offense.
Looking like an absolute stud. Again, kind of brings up the question about, is Christian McCaffrey as amazing as he's talked about? Is he the best multi-running back, or is he just a really good running back in an offense that thrives through that position?
Or has Mike Davis just never gotten the work like that?
But he has. I mean, he played for Seattle for a while. Got a bunch of opportunity until he got cut and traded, or he got cut.
Went to the Bears, had one good week, and then they used David Montgomery.
So he's just that offense just gives so much pass catching opportunity, so many rush opportunities. Not to take anything away from either of them, but do you think they stick with the one back system when Christian comes back?
Yes. Yeah. You're not gonna. They paid him $16 million a year or whatever it is. You're not gonna take it away from him. And I mean, I do think that they.
Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray. Alvin Kamara just got paid the big bucks too.
Right, but that's a 1-2 punch. That's a little bit different. That's all I'm saying. But I think McCaffrey's just he's better than Mike Davis. I mean, he's shown that even with his work. And Mike Davis has been balling. But I am reading here though that there is little chance that McCaffrey plays in Week 6. So it's going to be another Mike Davis week.
If he plays, you got to play him.
Yeah,
especially
100%.
They are playing against the Bears, so don't expect another 29-point game in a full-point league, but expect something. I mean, he's definitely a solid play. Not a must-start, but there's only a handful of people, I would say, to play over him. So should be another good week if he gets to play and if he gets to start. And obviously, like we're trying to say, if Christian McCaffrey's back, you're not starting him.
I'm not too worried about the Bears matchup. They did just allow Ronald Jones to run over 100 yards and get some pass catching work there. So it is a more difficult matchup, but I do think he's definitely going to be a startable. I think he'll be a top 24 running back for sure, possibly even another running back one week, but definitely somebody if Christian McCaffrey is out, you are playing. Derek Carr upset the Kansas City Chiefs.
Upset of the week.
It was.
It absolutely was. I know a lot of people. I don't think anyone was expecting the Raiders to come out on top, especially at that such of a high scoring game. When it turns into a shootout, Patrick Mahomes is the guy you don't want to be going against.
Exactly.
But Derek Carr, I mean, we talked about him a little bit well into the preseason. Just about it was casually mentioned that he used to be an elite. He had a year of being an elite quarterback. He balled out and then kind of just went downhill. So to see these big games coming from him is actually really nice because I'm definitely a big Derek Carr fan. Mm-hmm. Not someone that you've ever wanted to trust in fantasy week in, week out, but someone that's always kind of been a safety blanket for some people.
Yeah, I mean, he does have his down weeks and stuff like that, but most of the time he puts up, in a 4-point league, he's, that upper teens, low 20s.
I was going to say, he's never finished outside of a quarterback 2 in his entire career. So he's a nice safety blanket, and then you do get these big weeks. Next week, they do have a bye, but after that, they're going up against Tampa. And with the receiver additions that they've had with Henry Ruggs, the deep ball accuracy that he's shown this year with Nelson Aguilar, Darren Waller's there, and then hopefully Brian Edwards comes back a little bit healthier. And then Josh Jacobs' pass-catching work this year as well has been going up. I like Derek Carr a lot, and their offense seems to be doing pretty well. I don't think he turns into a must-start for you, but I do think he turns into your second quarterback on your bench while you're going through these bye weeks that are going to be coming up. Mm-hmm. And in a pinch, he could be good for you.
Yeah, he is on a bye week this coming week, so, pick him up. I'd say pick him up early. A lot of people are going to be avoiding him because
of the bye week.
He does play Tampa the following week, but to be honest, I mean, he put up points against Buffalo. He put up points, against Kansas City, and those are not slouch defenses. So I'm not really, obviously, if you have a better option than Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson, whatever. But I'm not really too worried about him playing in big games. The offense has just shown, and he got Henry Ruggs back, and hopefully Brian Edwards comes back soon. So that'll be a nice little addition for him. Yeah,
with Brian Edwards back, he hopefully can have a breakout game, and then everyone's good to go.
Mm-hmm.
They can just keep on rolling.
Another quarterback, baby. Ryan Fitzpatrick, the Magic Man himself, put a whooping on the 49ers, something I like to see as a Dolphins
350 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yup.
It was
I mean,
absolutely insane.
He's currently the quarterback 6. Currently
quarterback 6?
Without other games?
Even when they haven't had a bad game except the first week.
Yeah.
Going against New England. Every week outside of week 3 in Jacksonville, he's thrown for over 300 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason he didn't get his 300 passing yards is because he decided to run the ball. Against Jacksonville, he got 38 rushing yards in 7 attempts with his rushing touchdown.
He's been pretty solid on that in the rushing game. Yeah,
he's been mobile.
Maybe a Lamar Jackson style.
I would not bring that into existence, but
I don't know because let's see. Yeah, I would say so because Lamar Jackson just ran the ball 2 times for 3 yards, and Fitzpatrick just ran for 3 yards or 3 times for 16 yards. I mean. What's better there?
I mean, that's 1 week.
We're kidding, obviously, but he is getting it done on his legs. Two rushing touchdowns on the season. I like to see that.
He's moving around. He's looking pretty good for an old man.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think he's a good pickup. Just especially in this upcoming week, they're going to be going against Denver. They're currently ranked 5th in points allowed to the quarterback. So I love him this week again. With that depleted Broncos defense has been letting people just eat up.
Mm-hmm.
So totally happy to see that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely. So moving forward, somebody that we kind of trash talked a little bit. I think it was not a flash in the pan. He's going to have these big games, but Brandon Cooks had a great week. What do you take from that, and do you think it's going to be how do you think he's going to perform moving forward?
I think going forward that this was just to remind you that you can't drop him. He's not someone that you're just going to drop. He's going to have big games, and he just got to this offense. Hopefully they can figure something out, and they're starting to get that timing together. Maybe they're going to be working him in there. I just don't feel like it's not someone you can trust.
Right.
I would hold on to him if you've already got him. I'm not looking to go grab him. I'm waiting for one of the other extremely injury-prone receivers that are there to go down, because when there's a lack of receivers there, that's when you're going to be able to predict, okay, he's going to have his good game. There's less people to feed. And when you have that opportunity, it'll come. Just not someone I'm going to feel comfortable ever having in my lineup.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I agree. Week 2 against Baltimore, he had a serviceable week. But other than that, he hasn't really done much. Another big game here, and he's not a bad receiver. But just that offense kind of scares me. I think they came out firing on all cylinders. After they fired Bill O'Brien there, but it's nobody. Yeah, he's not somebody I'm comfortably leaning on in my flex spot or anything like that. Preston Williams, though, the unicorn out of Miami Dolphins, he put up some big numbers. Finally broke out. Before the season, a lot of people, including myself, thought he was gonna be a solid option there in Miami, and he just has not done much. Even with the first couple of weeks, he got 5 and 7 targets. So he just didn't come down with them. He didn't come down with any, and looked good yesterday. Caught a nice, I believe it was like a 40-something yard touchdown, 47-yard touchdown. Nice little touchdown there, and then he put up over 100 yards this week again.
Yeah, that's the type of player he is. He's able to come down with those big balls, especially when they need to move the ball downfield. I think that he's someone, again, that just needs to get rolling, just needs to get moving. I'm kind of curious to see what happens when Tua does come in. I like the idea that big bodies are easier for someone to find, easier, more reliable to come down with. Hopefully he gets rolling by the time Tua comes in.
If Tua comes in, if Ryan Fitzpatrick is playing the way he's playing.
There was talk that he could have came in this week had we not smacked the 49ers. He
lost us the game, or Fitzpatrick did, against the Seahawks. If we played the way we played yesterday, and I know this isn't a Dolphins podcast, but they would have beat the Seahawks. So it is going to be interesting to see, that situation moving forward. But I do agree. Preston Williams is definitely somebody to keep an eye on. See what he what he does over the next couple of weeks and what happens with that quarterback situation. He's currently only rostered in 36.8% of leagues. Maybe somebody you can just stash on the bench for later if you want to. But definitely a big body, 6'5".
Big guy.
Yeah.
Definitely not small.
Nope, not whatsoever. And then of course, Jamison Crowder getting those targets, eating up, man. He's the only competent receiver there on that team. No offense to whoever else is on the team right now. 10 targets, 8 catches, over 100 yards. Each game he's played, he's gotten over 100 yards.
Yeah, realistically, had Jamison Crowder not missed as many games as he had this year,
wide receiver 1? A wide receiver 1.
He's definitely a wide receiver 1, but I honestly would even put him up there in the top 7,
especially in a PPR league.
Mainly in a PPR league, but actually to be fair, he's ranked higher in a standard league, mainly due to the fact that he does have those 3 100-yard games with 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those targets really do add up. He's gotten 33 in 3 games.
Yeah.
So
love it.
Love to see it.
Somebody we were, coming into the season we liked. We did, and
out of those bare necessities.
Yes. This is the only person you really want to own on that offense. I think he's gonna have a great remainder of the season.
And do you know what, Mike?
What's this?
He's still available in like 17% of leagues.
Oh, go pick him up.
So if he's available on those waivers, grab him because he's going to be a top 15 receiver by the end of the year.
Yeah, 100%. With all those targets and lack of options on that team. So those are our standouts, some guys that we saw balled and just wanted to talk about. Obviously, you've got guys like Adam Thielen, who, you're expecting that from. DeAndre Hopkins, guys like that. But we wanted to go over some guys who aren't as noteworthy and have been put up numbers this week. So how you doing over there?
I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it?
I don't want to talk about it.
Why? What's wrong?
It's getting close.
It's not close. John and I are in a FanDuel league, and I'm currently 1. He's currently 2, holding on. What happened?
Emmanuel Sanders is 12.7. Justin Jackson is 8.
Oh, no. He's getting there. Oh, well. But we're 1 and 2 in this league, and it's getting close there for John, supposedly. So
it's getting a little closer than I wanted to.
Yeah. So,
but it's all right. We're going to live.
Yes, we are.
We're going to thrive.
We're going to thrive. Week 6 waiver wire pickups. These guys you're going to be targeting on the waiver wire. Some guys who were slightly owned. Most of them or all of them actually are less than 50% owned. So these are guys that you want to target, whether they had a big week this past week and whatnot, or maybe an opportunity fell in their lap. But these are the guys that you're going to want to go after. Pick them up while you can. And let's get started. Andy Dalton, owned in 0.2% of leagues. He's just, if he's not a horrific quarterback, was put in a really bad situation there in Cincinnati. And he's got an abundance of weapons now. He can rely on the run game with Zeke there. And then he's got 3 top-tier receivers, and all could potentially be wide receiver 1s or 2s on another team. And you've got Dalton Schultz, who's not too shabby of a tight end there. Not Blake Jarwin, unfortunately, but is serviceable. No. So great options. Dak was obviously, freaking putting up numbers again, and then unfortunately got injured. So, I love Andy Dalton. If you are quarterback needy, if you don't have a Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes,
Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, if you don't have one of the true top 7 quarterbacks, Andy Dalton can easily fill your team up. He turned back in Cincinnati. He was someone who had extremely serviceable weeks at the low end, and even had some quarterback 1 weeks here and there. Now he's getting an upgraded offensive line, an upgraded receiver, upgraded running back.
The offensive line's really hurt. Right tackle, left
tackle.
The
hurt offensive line of the Dallas Cowboys is still better than the old offensive line of the Cincinnati Bengals. Andy Dalton's in for a true test of, was he talented and the Bengals bad, or was just the whole show terrible? This is his chance to actually prove that he is someone and actually a great quarterback, who I think he is. Yeah. I think he turns into a high quality start as a quarterback. Quarterback 1, possibly week in, week out. Yeah, someone you're definitely going to want to be rostering, if not starting in most situations. Rest of the season, they're going against Arizona. They got Washington, Philadelphia, then Pittsburgh before their bye. Those 4 games, other than the Pittsburgh one, which kind of scares me a little bit if it doesn't turn into a shootout, I think he's going to be really serviceable and someone I'm going to want to start in all 3 of those.
I do think going forward, he is going to be a quarterback 1. Or he will finish the season off as a quarterback 1 from here on out. So pick him up if you can. I do think that he went 9 for 11 for over 100 yards, 111, right at 111 yards. So I do think that he is going to be able to get it done, especially with these weapons. Last year in 8 games, he also had 3 rushing touchdowns. So he is going to have not a ton, but a little bit of rushing upside there as well. He can get in the end zone if he needs to, kind of like a Fitzpatrick.
Drew Brees can get 3 rushing touchdowns a year.
He just got one.
Are you going to say Drew Brees has rushing upside?
No, but Andy Dalton does. He's got the upside to get in the end zone on running. He is more mobile than like a Drew Brees, Ryan Fitzpatrick by far.
Yeah, he can move under pressure. I wouldn't say he's mobile.
He's mobile.
He's not mobile. He's less mobile than Ryan Tannehill, and I barely consider Ryan Tannehill mobile.
Well, you don't know what a mobile quarterback is, John. If you don't consider Ryan Tannehill a mobile quarterback, then
I barely do. I think he's like the lowest threshold of a mobile quarterback if you want to even put that in consideration. He's only rushed for over 100 yards once in his career.
But that's not. I'm saying getting in the end zone. I mean, if they're on like I'm not saying he's going to run for 80 yards a game. I'm saying that if they're on like the 15-yard line and he escapes the pocket, he can get in the end zone from there. I'm not saying he's running around every game. I'm saying that if he's in that red zone.
When you say mobile quarterback, I would say that there's someone you can count on a slight rushing upside, which you can count on from just a handful of quarterbacks this year. I mean, Tom Brady even got a 9-yard touchdown in week 1.
But
Tom Brady's not mobile.
No, he's not at all. But I'm saying Andy Dalton is. Andy Dalton's much more mobile than that.
I can give you that, but I wouldn't say Andy Dalton's mobile.
Wait,
I'll say Andy Dalton's more mobile than Tom Brady, but Andy Dalton.
I'm more mobile than Tom Brady.
Andy Dalton is not a mobile quarterback.
He's mobile. He's very mobile.
No, I will not give that to you.
You're not going to give me anything. I mean, you just don't. But it's true. I mean, it is. It is. And I'm sorry that you don't believe it. But after he gets 4 rushing touchdowns on the rest of the season, then you'll see that.
That won't.
Yeah. Oh boy, Travis Fulgham owned it. Also, only 0.2% of leagues. How much fab are you spending on him?
Honestly, Fulgham, if I'm really receiver needy or flex needy, I'll probably spend 5-10%. Not a lot, but enough to where if no one else really wants him, I'll take him. I'm not going to break the bank on him. He's not that type of player. And they do have players that are going to be coming back from injury that are going to be opening up the field a little bit. Yeah,
I think I'm only spending 5% on him at most. You're probably not going to get him. There's going to be a ton of people going after him just because he had these big weeks. And there have been so many injuries lately. So I do think that it's going to be difficult to get him at 5%. But if you put that 5% bid out there and you get him, I do think he's going to give you some weeks that will be usable. And with all those options out, we kind of touched on him last segment, but definitely somebody I'd put a 5% bid in and kind of see where it takes me. Now Chase Edmonds had a great week. He kind of seems to be the best back in that backfield right now.
Either that or just seems to just have the best opportunity when he gets the ball. He only had 9 touches this week and 10 touches last week. But was able to find the end zone in both games. So that's where a little bit of his upside's been coming, but it's been coming. Kenyon Drake did just have his first relevant game. Edmonds finished just above him. But it does seem that they do prefer to have Edmonds, especially in those goal line carries or that red zone. And at the value you can get Edmonds for, he's right now being owned in just 48% of leagues. Someone that you're going to want to at least roster, especially if Kenyon Drake goes down at all. The Arizona Cardinals know they can use Edmonds as a serviceable running back while Drake is down. So I would definitely want to have him on my bench just as much as I would want someone like Alexander Madison right now.
Yep. Yeah. Him, Alexander Madison, Tony Pollard, Chase Edmonds, all those guys are in the same category. I would say, and if he's out there, go pick him up. He was actually somebody that we talked about last week in being an option to start, and he delivered. So pick him up. He's getting the receiving targets, which is nice. I'm sorry, John. Emmanuel Sanders with another catch.
That was a good pass from Brady's.
Yeah. So pick him up. Like John said, he's only owned in 46.5% of leagues. Now, T. Higgins led the team in targets this week. Looked decent against a very difficult defense. He's been getting more and more involved the past couple weeks in that offense, and with A.J. Green taking a step back, it's looking more and more like T. Higgins is that team's number 2 behind Tyler Boyd. So definitely somebody you can pick up, and he's going to give you flexible weeks. Again, owned in 41.9% of leagues. How do you feel about T going forward?
So personally, I know I was the person that's been kind of, I wasn't ready to jump on that train with him yet this week. But watching how the game went, it like you said, it's pretty obvious. He is the team's number 2. Definitely someone I'm going to want to have on that team. Joe Burrow, someone that's getting pass attempts out the butt. He gets to throw the ball so many times a game. I want players that are going to catch that ball. I want people that are going to get opportunities to get those targets, and he's been getting a lot of them. He's gotten 15 targets in the past 2 weeks. Only got 8 catches, though. So still definitely someone, especially in a PPR league, I think his role is going to be expanding in that offense. I think they figured out that they can trust him. We're going into week 6 now, so teams are starting to understand what their structure really is. They know where their players, starting to realize where the players are at, and that's why you see AJ Green only getting his 1 target. Mm-hmm. So I think T. Higgins is going to take over that role, and someone that I'm shooting and spending probably 15% on him of my fab, just because I think he's going to be someone that's going to be getting better and better as the season progresses, at least in a fantasy aspect.
Yeah, T. Higgins, yeah, I'd spend about that between 10 and 15%, depending on how needy I am at wide receiver. Real quick, just because we forgot to talk about it, Andy Dalton and Chase Edmonds, how much would you spend on them?
Andy Dalton, 5%. I'm not going to reach for him.
If I'm quarterback needy?
If I'm quarterback needy, we're 35%, honestly, depending how needy I am. I mean, if I need a quarterback, I think Andy Dalton's someone I can, once I grab him, I don't need to stream.
Yeah, if you're the Dak Prescott owner, I think I'd be spending that 20. I think I'd spend, I don't want to spend, because with all the injuries, there's a lot that you got to conserve or probably already spent. So, around that 20 to 25% if I'm the Dak owner. And then if I'm, if I have like a Sam Darnold or something like that, then I'm probably even
maybe
more.
Not Sam Darnold, just because we don't know if he's going to be playing again.
Yeah. So, but around that 15 to 20%, I think is fair for him. And then Chase Edmonds, I'm around that 12 to
I'm like that
18%, somewhere around there.
I'm like 8 to 12.
I think he's going to be a solid play, and something happens to Kenyon Drake, then he's there. So somewhere around there. But moving on, we've got, of course, Alexander Madison with the Dalvin Cook news. He's looking like a really juicy pickup.
He is, especially when we get some news about that MRI and how he feels in practice. I personally am under the impression, and we kind of saw it last week, they don't need to rely on Dalvin Cook to carry them all the way through the game. They'd be fine splitting the work, and both of them can still be fantasy relevant, which is great for us as fantasy players. I think that even though if Dalvin Cook is a full go in week 6, I'm still playing Madison as a flex. I'm not sitting one of my stud running backs, but that means that there's going to be opportunity for him to still get the ball, because even when Cook's fully healthy, he gets a handful of carries. Now he's coming off of an injury where he's just got an MRI. I think Madison gets at least 10 touches this week with that offense that could lead to a touchdown.
Yep.
So I'm very happy to play Madison as a flex this week.
Yeah, he's put up solid numbers. Week in and week out, he's getting. This week obviously he got 20 touches, but prior to that, week 1 he got 10. Week 2 and 3 he didn't do too much. He got 5 and 8, and his rushes were And then of course last week he didn't do too much, but he did get in the end zone. But if they keep feeding him the ball, I do think he's going to be a very serviceable back. And if he's Dalvin Cook is out this week, then Alexander Madison jumps it up into a must start.
Absolutely.
And playing against the Atlanta Falcons, he could be a top 8, top 10 running back on the week.
You know who else is a really good running back you guys should be looking out for?
Who's that?
Damian Harris.
Ooh.
That game did get moved back between the New England Patriots and the Broncos, so we didn't get to see him this week or see what's going to happen with that offense moving forward. I know last week was his first week back. He was able to get 100 yards on the ground. No pass catching upside, though, which was a little sad to see. So moving forward, could be a really good pickup, especially in those running back needy teams. With as many injuries as we've got going on, I'm sure there are people out there that really need it.
Jared Cook.
There we go. Talk about that noodle arm again, bro.
Hey, he got it. He was wide open.
Yeah. So absolutely, I really like the fact that Damian Harris is someone that you can probably put in there and get some weekly flex plays every once in a while. Just need to be paying attention to which running backs are healthy, who they're going to be using, and what teams they're going against. Not someone I'm going to be spending any fab on personally. More of if I can get them, I'll take them. Just because it's still that Patriots running back group.
Yeah.
You can't trust any of them, and I'm not going to waste the fab budget on someone that I don't even know if I'll play for the rest of the season.
Yeah, 3 to 5% is the most I'll spend on him. Just, some leagues you have to put fab on. I mean, he's still owning 40.1% of leagues, so definitely somebody I'd spend a little bit, but I'm not going all out for. Because, like you said, that backfield with Burkhead there and Belichick as a coach, it's nothing I'm too. It doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies. Real quick, back to Alexander Madison. What fab would you put on him?
Madison, I'm happy to spend 15%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm spending more than I am on Chase Edmonds, 15 to 20%. And if Cook's out and you're the Cook owner, or
40 to 50.
Yeah, or even if you're just hurting at running back, you could spend a solid amount, over that 25% if needed. Laviska Shenault looked pretty good, and then DJ Chark unfortunately left the game, so he kind of stepping up into a bigger role potentially, depending on Chark's injury. But he did have 8 targets, 7 catches for 79 yards, and overall looked pretty good. I do like the fact that they do get him involved in the run game as well.
They didn't get him involved this week, which is a little sad to see. But no, he still got his 8 touches. Was able 8 opportunities to get touches, his 7 catches, 11.3 yards per reception in this game, but still averaging 11.7 throughout the year. Mm-hmm. He hasn't been able to find the end zone at all. But I do think that with Chark continuing to be out this week, that I think he's going to be a great play. They are trying to find more ways to get him used in the offense, like we've been seeing, like you were talking about with that rushing opportunity they've been giving him. So I think that the Jags will continue to find more ways. And throughout the season, he's going to be a stronger and stronger play, kind of like that T. Higgins. Those rookies, there's a lot of talented rookies, and
it's a great receiver class.
It seems like 5 weeks into the seasons when they're really starting to push their rookies out there, and you're going to want to be grabbing any of them that are showing signs right now because we want to see how far they'll go. Mm-hmm. So I'd grab Laviska. I'm spending 10% if I need him. Nothing if I'm not in need of a good flex / receiver.
Yeah. I
just took that.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Same money too.
That's funny. We're doing a little bit of live bets as we go, but I agree. I do think Laviska is somewhere around that T. Higgins mark. It could be. I'd spend like that 5% fab on him if he's out there and he does like I said a little bit ago. They are getting him involved in the rushing game, or try to every once in a while, so that gives him a little boost. And depending on what happens to DJ Chark, they're really going to need somebody to step up in that offense, and could be Chark, or it could be Shenault. So Justin Herbert, pick him up, man. He's playing lights out. Second half's been a little rough. They're getting some pressure on him, but currently he is 11 for 20. 122 yards, but 3 passing touchdowns in this game. So putting up some nice touchdown numbers. And he was actually one of the guys we said a couple weeks ago, pick him up if you're available, if you can. He's really put up some solid numbers these past couple weeks, and I don't really see him slowing down. Anthony Lynn came out and said that he's going to be – ooh, that was almost bad. As we're talking about him, he hurt us. Anthony Lynn came out and said that he is the starter going forward, even if Tyrod is back. I feel bad for Tyrod, of course.
He's the ultimate career starter.
Yeah, it's horrible. What happened to him, but
can you name all the quarterbacks he started?
Huh?
Can you name all the quarterbacks' careers he got started?
Oh, over him? You got Peterman, you got Baker, you got Justin,
Josh Allen,
and you got. No, Peterman took over for him in Buffalo. And then who else? I think that's it. I think Peterman, Herbert, and Baker are the 3 if I remember correctly. But anyways, pick Justin Herbert up if you can. He is out there on the waiver. He's only 35% owned. So grab him if you can. He's going to give you those serviceable weeks. Put up a really, really good week last week against Tampa.
No, Justin Herbert looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely somebody you're going to want to be grabbing. Would you pick him up or Andy Dalton?
Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Andy Dalton. I think, there's going to be some rookie growing pains down the road for Justin Herbert. If they don't win this game, this might be one of them. He almost threw a pick, but driving down the field right now, which is nice. But there will be some growing pains. Andy Dalton is, more vet, and he's got better weapons as well. And I like him in that offense. So I would go Andy Dalton for sure. But a 5 to 8% fab bid on Justin Herbert if he's out there and if you're QB needy.
Especially after this week, he's looking really good. You're gonna want to if he's on your waivers now and you want him, it's time to grab him because you're probably not going to be getting him much longer. But another quarterback, if you guys don't want to spend any fab on a quarterback this week, but you need to kind of think ahead, someone that you could look forward to and pick up probably for free is going to be Derek Carr.
Yep. Going on bye week. A name that's been around for a while and then it's kind of been meh. So people aren't going to be making desperate dives for him. So I would put my free bid on him this week. Yeah.
And just see what happens if I need that position.
Free bid of the week.
Okay.
We'll have one of those players each week.
I've got another one for you.
Oh, let's hear it.
No, I'm just kidding. Cole Beasley.
Oh, yes. I love Cole.
I think, Cole Beasley's another receiver who's been having some productive games. Obviously, when you're a receiver for Josh Allen this year, who's had multiple 350-yard games. Wrong?
Huh? Oh, I just pulled up Cole Beasley.
Oh, yeah. Josh Allen's been balling all year.
Oh, they're talking about MVP for him.
Absolutely.
He's had 3 games over 300 yards.
Okay.
Almost all 4. He's 12 yards short.
So 3 games over 300. His receivers are going to be the people that are going to be benefiting from that. And we've seen Stephon Diggs have huge games. We've seen John Brown have huge games. And we've also seen Cole Beasley be really usable in all of them. So I think that's someone you're going to, again, a nice, easy flex to pick up in a pinch, especially during a bye week or something, someone that you can comfortably play and not expect the world, but accept to be safe. So another free bid for you. He's only owned in 31% of leagues. And as the third receiver for a team, not many people are going to be making a jump on that. But it could be someone that you want to stash for later in the season, especially if any injuries happen. I know John Brown's someone who's on the injury report week in and week out. So I love Cole Beasley as just a stash for the season.
Yeah, he's gonna give you serviceable weeks. He's doing pretty nice things right now so far. And like you said, if as long as Josh Allen or John Brown, if he's out, then he's gonna have even better value. So he hasn't had a touchdown yet. Or I'm sorry, he had 1 touchdown last week, only on four targets, but and 3 receptions. So he did get in the end zone, which helped him. But prior to that, he's had 7 targets. So I like that target share there in that offense. And with the way Josh Allen is playing, you want a piece of that. You want a piece of that offense. So another receiver who could really step it up here. He's shown the past couple weeks that he is a solid flex option, low-end wide receiver too, potentially, and has the big play upside. That's Mecole Hardman. Sammy Watkins is going to be out for a couple weeks. He's only owned in 37.5% of leagues. So, if he's out there on that waiver, pick him up. They're going to need a number 2 wide receiver. It's always nice to have a piece of that Kansas City Chief offense, especially somebody who's potentially going to get, even more involved. So if Mecole's there, he's got that huge playability, and him and Cheetah on the other side is going to be kind of scary for defenses.
Yeah, I mean, Mecole's someone who last year had a couple minor flashes, but I really thought this was the year he's going to break out. I thought Sammy Watkins was going to take a back seat for him. So here's his opportunity to show me what he could have done if that were the case. I do have him in a couple of leagues just because of what I thought he was going to do. But he's not someone I was comfortable dropping yet. So I'm really excited to see this. If I didn't have him, I'm not spending a bunch of fab on him, even if I do, just because you're barely seeing Tyreek Hill be usable as a wide receiver every week. It's not until that one catch happens that you're happy you played him.
Right.
You're kicking yourself all game. Mm-hmm. So I'm not grabbing anyone. The only person that eats on that team is Travis Kelce every week.
Yeah.
And then Tyreek Hill's most of the time. Claire, Mecole will have his huge games. I just don't know if I'll be able to predict him. It'll take me a week to decide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pick him up now, early though. He's got a pretty decent schedule coming up. He plays Buffalo this week, and then in Denver at the against the Jets, and then home against Carolina before they go on their bye week. So nice little matchup there. Those are potentially the games that Sammy Watkins could be out, and could really provide a filler option there if needed with the buys and the injuries coming up. And then finally, we talked about him last week. Robert Tonyan, old Bobby himself, owned in 48.4% of leagues. If you need, I know some platforms consider him a wide receiver, some consider him a tight end, some consider him both. So if you're tight end needy, Devontae's been out, Allen Lazard's out. He's clearly that number 2 target for Aaron Rodgers currently, and pick him up while he's out there. While he's out there on the waiver wire, I was spending 3% bid on him. But if I'm tight end needy, I might consider a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd definitely spend. I think he's going to end up continue having a really good streak, especially in the fact that Lazard's going to be out a few more weeks. I'm happy to spend 10%, 15%. I'd grab him. Tight ends are hard to come by, especially if you don't have a good one. If you don't have a good one right now, you're tossing a dice every week, and you know it. Mm-hmm. You're taking that person like, whatever. It's better than nothing, hopefully. I think when you have Tonyan in there, especially the next few weeks, you're at least getting good tight end numbers with a modest floor. So I'm spending good money on him. I feel like I'm picking up a Kittle or a Kelce when they first started breaking out. I'm not going to expect 33 points from him, but I do think he's going to get you some more 15-point games out of him.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be serviceable. From here on out, I do see him as a tight end 1, and he's on the waiver in over half the league. So pick him up. And one other good thing about him, John, is that this week's his bye. You don't have to worry about bye weeks the rest of the year.
Yeah,
with him. So another little added bonus there. No bye for him. Just had it, finished it up. And you won't have to stream anymore. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, those are our Week 6 waiver wire pickups. Obviously, there's a few more out there, some guys that are higher owned and whatnot, but we kept it under 50% to give it more of a possibility that they're on your waiver wire. But anyways, let's get into our beer of the day.
The Chancellor.
The Chancellor, yes. The German-style Kolsch ale from Tequesta Brewing Company was founded in 2011. I graduated that year, high school, by the way. It's out of Tequesta, Florida, down south. Their website doesn't have too much information on them, to be honest. But if you do want to, look up their address and whatnot, go to tequestabrewing.com. That's TEQUESTA, brewing.com. And they do have, obviously COVID guidelines into effect, so they have that on their website as well. They have, an events tab. You can check out what's going on. And then, of course, their address there. They also deliver. You can go to tbcdelivery.com, and they will, you can schedule beer delivery there. So you're probably going to find it in southeast, I would assume, somewhere, around Florida, southeast of Florida. We're about, 2 hours north of Tequesta?
No, it's only an hour.
An hour north?
Tequesta's Jupiter.
Okay, so an hour north of Tequesta. So we're kind of in that area. But look it up. I know you can go on like beeradvocate and stuff.com and stuff like that to kind of see where they sell it as well. So check it out. check it out. John, you want to tell them about the goods? The goods?
Oh, I'll tell you about the goods. Mm-hmm. The goods. Alcohol by volume.
Sorry, they're goods.
They're goods. The alcohol by volume, the ABV, is going to be a 5.3, so just over your average light beer. Coming in kind of nice. 22 IBU. Rather surprising, honestly. If you actually just take the sips. It's a low IBU, but at least when I'm drinking it, I get a wave of some like strong bitterness towards the back end of my mouth that I really didn't expect. But it's not bad. As far when you pour it, it does pour a nice, clear, golden, beautiful color. And it does have a really strong smell of honey, with a lot of that floral hoppy finish, with a little bit of like crispness from some sort of fruits. I think it might be grape. Beautiful pass.
Mike Williams for his second touchdown. And we got them plus 2.5, baby.
That's fine. I didn't take the 2.5.
What'd you take?
Straight.
Oh.
So as far as the taste, pretty much liked it. It, like I said, did have a nice little strong sweet coming over it originally, rounded out by some fruity flavors with a like real weird bitterness at the middle. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. But I kind of like it. As far as your rating, though, did you really enjoy this? No.
I mean, to be honest, it was okay. Like a 6.9.
Oh, wow. That was better than I thought you were going to give it.
It's a mediocre. In my opinion, it's a mediocre beer. It's nothing that really stands out to me. I won't avoid drinking it. But, if it's there, I'll drink it. But I'm also not going to go, like, searching for it.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan at all. Even being a homer for me, I'm going to give it a 4.8.
Ooh, John's lowest score of the season.
I do not like this one. Like that bitter flavor, I just can't get over, especially when it starts sweet. It has a nice little bready middle point, but it just punches you in the middle of the tongue and then disappears with nothing to take up for it. So not going to be one of my favorites.
Justin Herbert's going to finish as a quarterback one this week.
Justin Herbert's going to finish as a quarterback one this year. This
year? Really? Wow. Now, what do you think about Mike Williams? Because he did just get his second touchdown of the game. While we're here, might as well talk about it a little bit before we let these people go. What do you think about him?
I think he's a questionable play week in, week out. I mean, we know he's injured. Everyone knows he's injured. Yeah. Does he know he's injured?
Yes. Yes, okay. He does, I would say.
But, it is a chest injury or a shoulder injury, if I remember correctly. Luckily, he's the type of player that can get open for the deep balls. So once you've broken past that safety, you just need to run straight. Your shoulder's not going to hold you back too much there.
And Justin Herbert's more accurate than Tyrod, so
apparently.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go pick him up. He's only owned in 34.4% of leagues. I'll spend that 5 to 8% fab on him. Obviously I know he's injury prone, but you kind of expect that. But he will put up these monster games like he is right now. He's gotten 6 targets today, which is nice too. After not playing last week, so 3 catches, 75 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and that's before it's 3 minutes and left in the fourth quarter. So pick him up too. He's another one to add.
Another person we need to talk about, just because, and even though it hurts me, Emmanuel Sanders does have 9 targets for 106 or 9 catches for 106 yards right now.
Getting peppered with targets.
Michael Thomas comes back next week. Do you pick up Emmanuel Sanders at all as a weak flex? Really? Okay.
I don't think so. I
don't think so either. I was just kind of curious on your take.
Mike Thomas is going to be the focal point. Mike Thomas, that'll open up the run game for Alvin Kamara too. So I think they'll run the ball a little bit more, as well as Latavius Murray. So another catch for Sanders. I swear. But no, you can pick him up and stash him if you want to kind of see how it plays out. But I'm not, 3% bid on him if you do, and you're not playing him obviously this coming week. But see what he does. I guess when Michael Thomas comes back, I think the whole offense changes really once Michael Thomas is back.
I think so too. I think even Alvin Kamara might take a small tick down. Mainly, I think Latavius Murray is going to lose his role.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll have their 2 playmakers. Ooh, we needed that.
There you go, please.
So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. Sorry, we kind of got off on tangents there at the end, but we kind of wanted to give you as much information as possible. There's 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter of the Chargers-Saints game. So, if anything changes, we didn't know about it. John, you want to tell them where they can hit us up at?
Yeah, if you guys want to send us any of your beer recommendations as well as your fantasy football start-sit questions, trade advice, or any of your roster management questions, you can get us at thefantasytap on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to send it to us on an email, we've got an email too. That's going to be thefantasytap@gmail.com. You can send it to either of us. We'll get back to you as soon as we can, and we're actually extremely responsive with anything you guys need. Love to see you guys. Thank you for coming out today, and we will see you again on Thursday.
Love you guys. See you Thursday. Have a great week, and hopefully that Tennessee Buffalo game is a good one. See you guys.